I hear the train a-comin', rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. Well, I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on, while a train keeps a-rollin' on down to San Antone. Hello everybody, this is Johnny Cash. And one thing that I like better than singing the Folsom Prison Blues is shooting my .348 Winchester in the Model 71. Problem with these .348 Winchesters is though you got a lot of case stretch. And my Model 71's been around since Hector was a pup, and I gotta tell you that the head spacing is rather large on that, which is making these old doggies stretch. And boy, are they stretching. Fired 100 rounds the other day, and out of the 100 rounds I had 4 cases that came back like this. So I said to myself, I said, self, something's got to be going on here with these cases. So I measured the cases. So the way that I did it, this is Toad. This isn't Johnny Cash, obviously, because Johnny Cash has been gone for a long time. I have a cold, though. So rather than singing you Folsom Prison Blues, I'll do a video of excessive headspace on my Model 71 Winchester, but not to the point to where it needs any work. Take an unfired silver tip, and for the sake of ease of math, that is 51 or so. And you put it in the gorgeous gun. I don't know what I got going on down there, so let's get a fresh one. I think I went through like 120 of these. So we got 51. This one's fired. And you got 81. That's 30, right? Too much headspace, and that's what's causing those shoulder neck areas to blow out. One of the things you'll find interesting is that primer is setting up a little bit high. So if you really want to go for good numbers here, you got to knock that primer out. And the way you do that is you just take the shell holder right there, you slide it in, and let's get that out of the way. Let's get this primer out of the way. Okay. Now, just looking at things, when you think about pressure problems, you can learn a lot from a primer. And you can see that primer is kind of got a little bit of deformity where the back of the case, actually, the primer formed to the case as the case hit the back of the bolt face. It just flattened that primer out, so it could have like unseated it slightly and then reseated it. But I've had a lot of hand loads that I fire that are a little bit hot that look like that afterwards. So there's not a lot going on there. There's a little going on there, but not enough to be concerned about. So now back to this guy. We got the we got the primer out of it. So now we can do a good measurement of the actual headspace that it moved, because the primer, actually, if you take a look, down to about 79. So it went from, you actually grab another couple thousandths there by knocking that primer out of there. So what are you going to do? You seat these back. You seat these back to where, the reloading die is set. They're going to jump forward all that way again. But the one neat thing that you can do is I've backed this die off. Well, let me just show you. This will be the best way to do it. You guys know what I'm going to do here. I was a little concerned about it, but I think this is going to allow me to continue to shoot this gun without having to send it to a gunsmith. I got a lot of guns. I haven't got time to screw around with this. And I'll find out after I take it to the range if I end up seeing any cases split or anything. So now, let's have a look, see at how far I've sized that case back. About 1,000th or so. So the next test is going to be I'll put this in the gun, make sure it'll chamber. And now what I've done is I sized the neck pretty much right to where my thumbnail is. The rest of it I left alone, so when I put this in the chamber, that old doggy's not going to have anywhere to move. So it should even increase accuracy, and if it hasn't thinned the case too much in this area, that will be a good thing. Oh, and off on the left here, right here, before I start this whole process, I'm going to take a couple of moments here and do a little annealing. And I'll show you real quick. This is my Lyman case prep station. Got a arrow on there. Got a plumber's nipple. And I've got a propane torch over here. So, how do you tell how hot they're going to get? Less is better than too much. This is a temperature crayon, heat indicating crayon. I'm going to go around this. It's red in color, almost like it's a crayon. It's going on just like a crayon too, isn't that funny? Well, this is going to break down and melt at about 600 degrees. Now, I know the paint's better. This works fine for me. Turn on my Lyman case prep station. Now it is becoming an annealer. And stabilize that a little bit. This is all you gotta do. 1001, 1002, 1003, and it is broken down. Okay? That's been heated to just past about 600 degrees. And now the neck has been annealed. And I'm going to do this for all of my cases. And I've got asbestos type material inside this, and this has got a pretty good heat soak on it. So we're really warming just this area up in the top here, not even getting close to the head down in here. Did get warm, but like anything else, less is better with this. You want to, 600, 700 degrees max. I wouldn't go much further than that, because then you're going to be over annealing. So then if we wanted to be legit on this, we're going to lubricate the case now. And a lot of times you can actually notice the ease that the annealed case when you go to do the sizing on it. Let's see if you can tell. And I did notice a difference on the upward with the expander ball coming through that. So, and the other thing that annealing the cases will do for you is you'll discover if you've got one that's weak in an area and is not showing. A lot of times that will open it right up for you. It'll show you what's going on there. So after I anneal all these, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get some good firings out of them, because they really are expensive, very expensive. And what you're looking at right there, the factory ammunition was from Frank's. It was 75 bucks a box. IMR 4831. Don't use Hodgdon 4831 load data or you'll get into pressure problems. What I did is I took the H 4831 bottom charge and I reduced it by 5%, which put me at about 61 grains of the IMR 4831. And I think these are going to be a little doggy, but better to err on the safe side of pressure. So 61 grains, IMR 4831, using these 200 grain FTXs. I've got that seated right about to where we're going to be hiding that cantilure, and then we're going to crimp them. Check the velocity out on that. .2442. That's pretty good. I guess the best indicator of whether or not these work or not, or using the gun at the range that it was really designed for, which is inside about 200 yards. So there's a animal-sized plate down there at 2. I guess 61 grains of 4831 will work pretty well. Let's see if we can hit it 400.